I know like tariffs is a big conversation. I think it's a widely misunderstood conversation as well. There's a lot of noise out there. What would be something that in this time period during a 90-day pause with tariffs that someone or we would want to think about when it comes to investing, saving, budgeting? Like, how can we prepare ourselves for like the unknown of the 90, what might happen when it's over?
Well, I often say, so tariffs bring market volatility. I mean, not tariffs in general don't bring market volatility, but the talk of tariffs, especially at the magnitude of what we're talking about, then they brought market volatility. So I would say now that the volatility's cooled off, being that when your account dipped, it dipped to an uncomfortable low, now might be a great time after, since it's rebounded, to take a new risk assessment questionnaire and maybe reallocate your portfolio to a way that if it takes another dip that's very similar to what we saw a couple months ago, you don't feel like you're about to throw up. That would be a big one.
Yeah, that's
If you're
great.
in retirement age where you actually need cash to live off of, if you haven't raised enough cash for the year or for the next kind of few months, now that your portfolio is rebounded, I would suggest maybe making sure you have enough cash on hand. So being that it dips in another 90 days, you're not trying to sell things at a loss to pay your everyday bills. So I would say that would be a couple things. Now, if you're on the other side and you're an investor, I would say, keep dollar cost averaging in. And being that it dips again, go ahead and buy that dip so that you can ride it back up. Because if you bought the dip back when it was down in April, you're sitting nice right now.
Yes. Yes, I know that there is a lot of like when it goes down, people get really nervous. They don't want to invest. They don't want to spend money. But really, that is, I don't know if we could reiterate this enough. That really is a time to like dive into. It's like buying your favorite shoes on sale.
Right. Well, I like the famous Warren Buffett quote is to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy when others are fearful. And so what he's saying is that when the market's at the top, that's the time to be fearful about getting in. But when the market is at the bottom and others are being fearful, that's the time to be greedy.
Yeah, and so maybe now is a good time to do some additional research on things that you may want to invest in while it's high and get excited about some things so that when it goes low, you're able to buy in at a lower cost,
Right.
possibly.
Yeah. I
Just an
mean,
idea.
yeah. And I mean,
Education and entertainment purposes only.
right. I mean, if this is for education and entertainment purposes only, but I have like just on my regular iPhone stocks app or whatever the app is called. I have several companies that I follow. So I know about what their price point is, like kind of like where it fluctuates. So when I see stuff like what happened in April, I'm like, okay, this is really low right now for this. This is a great buy price for this because this is really low. And several of the I don't think there's any of the ones that I follow that went down low that have pretty much not bounced back, but some have even exceeded to new heights. Yeah, since the return. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.